Alright guys, I'm gonna do a showcase of my strength stacker that I have been playing. It is Kinetic Fusillade Totems. As you can see here, I am killing Uber, Sirus at the moment, and let's see, he's still not done with his tornado phase, but yeah, I'm gonna do Sirus for a showcase, and then I'm gonna do a Cortex, and then I'm gonna go over everything else after.
Obliteration!
Death. I am.
Mortal flesh is so fallible.
Sirus is dead. We got nothing good. Yeah, let's portal out of here. Back. Good.
There is no justice but divine justice.
The Cortex will take the place of my map showcase. Well, I'll come back and do this. But yeah, so we're gonna use the Cortex and take the place of the map showcase. Or something like this. Paste. After. Yeah, Uber Cortex surprisingly is profitable, guys, by the way, if you farm the bases. Oh, like.
What secrets I murderous mind of yours? That's mine. Valdo had some ingenious designs hidden in his memories. Observe! Valdo's design.
Dead.
Do you remember dying here? You will. What?
Dead.
In this, the realm of the past, I am king, and you will bow. This one is my own creation. Face your destruction. Burn away sin.
And that's the Cortex. We'll get nebulous.
This isn't over. This will never be over. I will unify humanity.
Alright, I'm gonna finish this map and loot. Okay, so yeah, that was Uber Cortex and that was Uber Sirus. It is a strength stacking Kinetic Fusillade Totems build. Really nothing too outside the ordinary from your regular strength stacker, but I know a lot of people have been struggling on how to transition outside Palsteron's version of their Kinetic Fusillade, and maybe like they don't know how to progress or how to transition from strength stack or from regular into strength stack. So I built a guide for y'all outside that you could follow something outside of just following Ninja or PoB Ninja and trying to figure out from there. So we're gonna start from Act 1 to 2. This is your normal build. Skills, these are your rolling magma stuff to get to Act 2. You know, maybe you're like thinking of potentially trying this build out too as well. Act 3 is Firestorm, Holy Flame Totem, Armor Brand. I do have a notes section. You guys can, it's pretty in depth, I think. Maybe I'm missing something. Here's the link to the Cave Transition for Palsteron stuff, and then the Sushi's crafting stuff also. But this is like the transition into strength stack. So yeah, this is pretty basic stuff. Act 3 to 10. This is your respec into Kinetic Fusillade Totems after the acts, and then we have the Strength Stack transition. So the Strength Stacking transition, so we pretty much like leave the entire top side of the tree, and from there we come down to this side. We keep these nodes. We're pretty resist starved as a Strength Stacker, so you're gonna want these nodes. And then you're gonna switch to your auras become purity of elements, tempest shield determination. You're no longer using anger. We switch from flammability or sniper's mark to despair and arcanist brand. We have arrogance, precision still, shield charge, faster attack, momentum, and frenzy. Kinetic fusillade links. These are your core four, and then you have volatility and increased damage. Um, or crit damage is your fifth and sixth links. I think volatility is more important because damage is good, but you might not be fully crit capped yet, so you're not gonna get as much from that one. I wouldn't recommend inspiration. Honestly, inspiration I think is good, but the uptime for it is pretty low, or not pretty low. Like it's pretty hard to get because of how hard it is to get the mana cost. But and also like since we're using chaos damage now, and replica Alberons, then there's really no point in using inspiration. Um, I put it down in the notes for the strength transition that you buy strength on the rest of your gear. There's not a lot of gear left, really. It's kind of just like your gloves, your ring, your belt, um, your shield. You're gonna have strength on that. It's important for you to get your chance to block and your maximum number of summon totems so that you can have 8 totems up. As you can see, like this is the strength stack transition build, and we have 8 million damage right now. It's not a lot, but the wand is like super cheap and dirt. Like you can get like a better wand than this, of course. Um, but this is kind of like the baseline stats that you're looking for in your wand. Astramentis is pretty important for you before you get to afford your simplex. You're pretty much gonna ride this out till you get your simplex, amulet, time clasp, as we already know. If you can't afford a dusk ring or a helical quite yet, this is the only item that's mandatory. Like I'd say these two are your only two items that's mandatory. The replica Alberons and the Iron Fortress. I'll even show that to you in game, like as well. Like replica Alberons and Iron Fortress. These are your only two items that's like mandatory when you transition into strength stack. Um, you can't really play strength stacking without these two items, because yeah, I mean you get a lot of bonuses for block from the Iron Fortress, and then the Alberons is the source of your damage. So there's no reason kind of like strength stack without Alberons, because then you're not really doing damage as a one character. Um, yeah, in the notes, I also wrote down how, yeah, it's super cheap, this one, and will carry for a bit. Item upgrades go a long way when you play Strength Stack, so like the more budget you put into it, the more damage you get. It's like really exponential growth. The Cluster Jewel also, this is probably like, this is super cheap. This doesn't have increased effect. It's literally just all attributes and strength. Like that's nothing until you can afford your increased effect Cluster Jewel, and then you're going to put in split personalities. I think a strength accuracy split personality is like 40 chaos, and then a strength int is 2 divines. But you could get away with like strength armor for like 5 chaos if you can get your intelligence elsewhere. The only reason we're using strength int is because we need at least 188 base int in order to use a wand. Um, the shield base, this has the highest shields. They have the highest base block. Um, so it's good to have this one to help you get block capped. Um, but yeah, if you're gonna come down, once you come down and do strength stacking, the most important nodes for you to get are going to be these totem nodes, surveillance and watchtowers, and then utmost might. Crit nodes, I'd say, are the least important. Get this ASAP as well for an extra proj. And then jewel slots I left empty except for like these ones. Inertia, they're cheap. You put that in this slot. Like inertia, this slot is like a ton of strength also. Again, it's like literally non-existent. You get a shitty lethal pride first until you can afford a good one. Just so you can get extra strength from everything here, right? All these tiny nodes give you +2 and +4 all of a sudden. Maybe you'll get one that has like +5% increased strength too or something, and that's really good. But yeah, that's like they're cheap as well. Every other jewel, those are your like mandatory jewels. You can get your Rain of Splinters if you can get your Rain of Splinters early. You can buy like a pull roll Rain of Splinters one until you get that, and then eventually, as we get to here, we are going to transition over into the aspirational kind of goal, and you notice how my damage just went from 8 million to 334 because like I said in notes, like item upgrades go a long way in Sir Stack. Like the more budget you go into it. And then I also put down like the upgrades that I personally have remaining left. But if we look at the items that I have now, like we have this wand. I'll show you how to craft these. This I just bought. It's not that expensive. This is like 20 divs. You got strength everywhere, chaos res, +1 totems, max block. Our strength goes up from, we get 1,000 more strength. We have a better lethal pride. This is useless, but this has double damage, strength, strength, double damage. Yeah, I put that in the notes. Your lethal pride, you're going to want to have 2x double damage and the rest strength when you should put down here when you have more money. There you go. When you have more money, look for 2x double damage and the rest percent strength into that lethal pride. Um, we get out of the Astramentis and we switch to, where is it, the Simplex like everyone else does. This is, I think this more than doubled my damage when I put Sun. We have a Mage Blood, Helical Rings, Dusk Rings because we want to get out of the Time Clasp. Um, Gloves, we have Strength, Chaos Res, Damaging Flask Effect, and +1 Abyssal Socket, or Abyssal Socket, more Chaos Res, Strength. Get more Strength. I like Chaos Res because I need Chaos Res. But I think now that I have +16, I can get out of this one. Um, you can also get a Progenesis. I do have one that I alternate with between maps, I think. Yeah. And I put down on my notes. Everything is in the notes. It's all pretty good. This is how I run my maps. I have Progenesis and Returning Barrage imbued on my KF when I'm mapping. And then I swap into a Life Flask and my Concentration Effect when I'm Uber bossing. Um, you can figure it out like whatever you need. And then the list of imbues. These are two important ones. Conk Effect. This is so cheap for some reason. Okay, I'm gonna put this out. Conk Effect does more damage than Void Manip, right? But for some reason, everyone is using Void Manip more than Conk Effect, which is like 2x more expensive. At least it was when I checked. Return Proj is really expensive though. This is like 15 divines, but it's pretty worth it when you get mapping. It's super smooth. Sniper's Mark with Mark on hit is super nice. Frenzy or Shield Charge with any touch, whichever's cheaper. But honestly, you kill things so fast. Like I don't even know if this is applying. Like, Uber boss damage since there's 70% less. We dropped down to like 100 million, but like 100 million is so much more enough. Obviously it's not like BV minion pack, but this is will do. You know. Let's see. Okay, so I'll teach you guys how I crafted my gear. Cause I crafted my wand, I crafted my gloves, I crafted my rings. I bought the simplex because I didn't want to deal with the 50-50. You could craft it yourself. Like I said, I have Sushi's video on how to craft it right here. Um, and then yeah, the shield I also just couldn't be asked because I think this is like mostly recomb, but you could guarantee your +1 number of summon totems because the only shaper prefix. So you go Craft of Exile. We'll go Craft of Exile right here. We go Craft of Exile. If you do shaper shield, so do offhand, shield, strength, influence, shaper. So if you do everything, if you isolate your prefix, your suffixes and your prefixes, and let's say you only have like a prefix left and you slam a Shaper Exalt, you're gonna guarantee this, right? Because if you Shaper Exalt, Shaper's Exalted Orb, boom, open prefix, you only have one thing to slam, and it's gonna be this. And it's gonna be a 100% guarantee. Like, yeah, see, if you, it's a 100% guarantee you're gonna get this. So really, like, it's super easy to get like a shield like this going. You just need to be patient with your recombs so that you can finish your suffixes and get lucky with your prefixes as well. The math on it, like, Aussie recomb is so RNG. Like, there's like math on it, but it's so RNG that you get super unlucky. But I mean, like the shield, like I said, only costs like 25 divines. Definitely like need one with more life. I like the reduced crit so that I can run my breach maps also later. But anyway, so let me teach you guys how to craft some of these items. So these gloves, the base was 15 divines to get the abyssal socket. Um, and then I just spammed, yeah, I just put a regal on it, and then I spammed envy until I got strength, until I got T1 strength, right? So we do envy until I got T1 strength, blah blah blah. And I think Craft of Exile also here will show you the statistics of how long it's gonna take to get it. So let's say you get this, you essences, and you use essence of envy, and you already have and you already have, where is it? I think I need to already use a Delphos on it. But whatever. So let's say you already have the Fracture Envy, and you look for Rage or Strength. It's like, yeah, 47 attempts on average. So you can finish your suffixes really quick with this. So like, let's say we got that. Where'd it go? Yeah. So let's say we got that. Let's remove this, and let's remove this, and we got the Chaos. We have this, and this is Fractured. Then you're just kind of like, you're just in Eldritch Prison from here on out. So you're just gonna put a Lesser Emblem, so that you guarantee that every time the Lesser Exarch, because when seeing Exarch is dominant, we can just annul every time, and then you just kind of honestly, a normal Exalt is fine now too because they're so common. Like you can just Exalt, you just slime Exalt, or but before you Exalt, what I like to do actually is I craft like mana on it first or something. So I craft or mana, or I think it doesn't roll mana naturally. I put armor. I think I craft armor flat because it has the highest roll. So I do armor. Sorry, I'm American. I do flat armor. Crafted. This, where is it? Where is, oh, here we go. I do flat armor, craft, blah, blah, blah. Where is it? Yeah, we'll do this or something like that. Flat armor craft, and then slam, slam, and then annul, and then I remove crafted modifiers, remove, and then I just go back to this, annul, annul. Or if you like fill it up, you could you could pop a chaos in there too. Yeah, there you go. I just did that until I got T1 life, and then once you got T1 life, you just craft the mod that you need. It's not a lot of like mods like missing left, so like yeah, let's say we do get like T1 life, um, life here, bang, and then you put damage during flask effect. Because that is more damage, it's 28% compared to Proj. It's more damage. You could use Proj speed if you want, if you really need Proj speed, but Proj speed is kind of whatever. So it's like a joke stat unless you're Spark. So that's how you craft the gloves, and then you are in Eldritch Prison until you get lucky with Strength and Intimidate. So you put Intimidate and Strength, and then you Conflict until you get +4. Yeah. And then after the gloves, that's that. Here's the wand. Someone actually taught me how to craft a wand, and I'm not gonna lie, crafting the wand was surprisingly easy. If you don't know how to craft chaos wands, you could buy a base like this. This cost me 3 divines. Um, but you could also spend more money. If you have more money, you can look for a spell damage essence implicit also. But the crafting is the same. So essentially, you're gonna grab it's gonna be regal. You're gonna grab a zeal. Oh, oops, that's not the. You're gonna grab a zeal, and you're just gonna spam until you get T1 crit chance. And again, Craft of Exile over here will show you the stats on how to get that. So then you just keep going until you get T1 crit chance. So let's say that's like T1. Let's pretend that's T1. Boom, remove, and then we do T1 crit chance, and there you go. If you got the enchant or the spell damage fractured instead of the crit multi fractured, you're gonna do an extra step where you're gonna do harvest craft, and you're gonna do suffixes cannot be changed, and you're gonna do add remove crit, and you're gonna pray. But and then if you miss tier that you like, you're gonna go again. But I mean, I went for crit multi because I didn't care for the extra fractured essence, and it's also cheaper. This is a much cheaper base. So let's say like this is, so you get this. This is done. Um, and then I believe from here you are just going to do add, remove, or you still do suffixes cannot be changed. You could beastcraft if you want, wild bristle matron, or you could do suffixes cannot be changed. On the bench, that's 2 divines. So it's a little less. It's less cheaper if you do the wild bristle matron. But yeah, suffixes cannot be changed. Add, remove chaos. It's always going to be this because it's the only chaos modifier that you could roll. It is the only chaos modifier, okay? So it's guaranteed every time you do add, remove chaos. There you go. Because it can't roll caster. Alright? And then from there, you have a 50-50. You're going to do suffixes cannot be changed again. Or again, wild bristle matron if you want to save some money. Suffixes cannot be changed. And you are going to Oh wait, sorry. Before you do this, actually, my bad. Before I messed up there. You do suffix cannot be changed first, and then you veil chaos, and then you block. You block one of the things. I forgot which one I blocked. Failed. Fail. Ah, whatever. Yeah. I looked up which one had the highest weighting, and I think I blocked physical damage. Yeah. Yeah, I blocked physical damage. I did one of these, and then I unveiled, and then I got lucky with chaos. There you go. We did two here. And then, sorry, and then we do suffixes cannot be changed. And then we hope we win. We try and win the 50-50. You have a 50-50 to not hit this, right? Add remove chaos. We lost the 50-50. We lose the 50-50. He's gonna go again. Fail chaos. Fizz. Crafted fizz. Percent fizz. Bang. And then we are gonna unveil again. Hope that we win. Chaos res. I think you have a pretty high likelihood of getting this one, by the way. So hopefully you don't lose too much, and then suffix can be changed again. Add remove chaos, and we lose again. But I won first try on mine, so honestly just get lucky. Don't be unlucky like I'm being right now. So if you're unlucky, just buy it, I guess. But it's cheaper to craft yourself. It cost me 5 divines to craft the one, but I think it's selling for like 25 to 30. Anyway, helical rings. I bought a fractured chaos res ring because I need chaos res. And then just like last time, I just spammed essences. I spammed essence of scorn until I got strength. Let's say that's T1 strength. Um, there we go. Let's say it's T1 strength. And then from here, you have the option of, yeah, you can just kind of slime it if you want, or you could keep going until you get a second affix or suffix that you want. But if you fill up your prefixes, you're gonna have to annul because you could, like, unless it's life, I guess, because you're gonna want minus or mana cost, right? Eventually you're gonna want this. But I mean, this is pretty much like a done ring. Like, unless you really need, like, you're greedy and you want all attributes and like one more res, then you can. But this ring is basically done, and then you just use catalyzing. Where is it? The new ones. There's the new ones that do the suffixes, and that's like giga. I do need to recraft mine. I don't really need like lightning res anymore on mine, so personally I need to recraft mine and get more all attributes, and then you could use a mirror on it. And in the dusk ring, this one you can't fracture anything, so you just have to. You actually have to use again. I think I did. You don't do envy. You do scorn until you get strength again, just like last time. So let's remove these and these. Strength, you do scorn until you get strength. You get T1 strength. Oops, wrong one. My bad. You get T1 strength. And then you do. What did I do for this one? I think I did suffixes cannot be changed. Yeah, I did suffixes cannot be changed. And then I got lucky with my Veil Chaos. You got a prefix, you go again. And then you keep going until you get a suffix. And then you pray for. Oh, oops. I just undid. And then you pray until you get frenzy or +1 minimum frenzy or +1 minimum endurance charges. I like endurance charges. And then suffixes cannot be changed. And then you could reforge life or add remove life on harvest. Yeah. Reforge life. Oh, sorry. Reforge life. Add remove life. And then Warlord Slam for something that you want. And then you're done. Yeah. Until. Because then you want this Warlord implicit for your Bound by Destiny. So yeah, that's how I crafted most of my equipment. Um, I need to upgrade these. I need to upgrade these and these. Technically, I think I don't know if my ring can sell for a lot. I think it might, but it filled up on the last suffixes or suffixes cannot be changed before life, which kind of sucks because I would like to annul my prefixes, but it's kind of a YOLO, so I'll need to recraft it first. Yeah. Oh yeah, and sorry, actually I used essence strength because I needed int, but I don't need int anymore either. So I do just need to recraft my Dusk Ring. Let's see. As for anything else, in order of importance, I would say the items you need to upgrade immediately would be from your Astromentis when you transition is your Simplex and your Mage Blood. Get a Mage Blood. Um, and then your jewels, this you have to upgrade to one with 35% increased effect. It's not showing on PoB, but this is like a ton of strength here. And then if you can get an unnatural instinct here, saves you a bit. And then you can use Ancestral Echo and Sleepless Sentries. Strength here again if you're greedy. I am. Um, and then we have an upgraded Lethal Pride that has, like I said, strength, double damage, at least 2 double damages if you're gonna use double damage. Um, we have evasion here. We have a perfect rain of splinters on this jewel socket, and in these melee ones, the cluster jewel here, we have an Emperor's Mastery. This is I don't know how I feel about this one. It's a little bit interchangeable. It's also a little too expensive in my opinion. This one's mandatory, 15% strength if 2 Warlord items are equipped. Pretty easy to get. I showed you guys how I just slammed my ring with a Warlord's Exalt, and I think the other one is already on the Simplex, so yeah. Um, I have a Impossible Escape so that I can anoint Whispers of Doom. Hasty Demise is my anoint on my amulet, and we want eventually Wilma's that's like double anointed, which we could buy or we could make ourselves if you know how to like farm the Solaris circlets from Blight and Blight Ravaged maps. You get the helmet, you anoint it, you corrupt it, hope it turns out rare, and then you use a tainted mythic, and you have a 7% chance of it turning into one of 4 uniques. So it's actually quite a low percentages to get it. But if you can get a double anointed Wilma's with like Force of Darkness and Heart of Darkness, or Force of Darkness and Hasty Demise, or Whispers of Doom, Disintegration, whatever you need, it's pretty good. Um, yeah. So that's the transition. I hope the video is pretty straightforward. Please have any questions, or if you have any tips, or maybe how I can personally improve my build some more. And let me know. Bye bye.